Welcome to the channel where mature adults learn to be better prepared for the unexpected and to live happier, healthier, stronger, and perhaps even longer. I'm glad you've joined me in this space today because we do have infinite possibilities before us when we choose to understand and understand how our bodies actually work. I often use the image of a fireplace to describe what happens with our nutrition internally. We have large categories of food called macronutrients. These are the proteins, fats, and carbohydrates that provide the bulk of our fuel, where we really get our energy from. You can think of these like the large logs that you put on a fireplace. They provide the heat and the sustained energy we need to move throughout our day. Now imagine a fire that has plenty of logs, but no spark to light them. Well, actually, that's no fire at all. They're just logs. This is why we need micronutrients. Micro, of course, meaning small. These are the vitamins, minerals, and phytonutrients that act as the spark plugs of the body. While the macronutrients provide the fuel, the energy, micronutrients are the catalysts that allow every single chemical reaction in your body to happen. They help your defenses stay strong and your mind to stay clear as the years go by. Everything in our body is a beautiful process of energy. And just as a fire in a fireplace creates smoke and sparks and soot as it burns, the process of creating energy in our cells creates byproducts that we call free radicals. Now, to understand a free radical, you can think of a molecule that has lost an electron, and molecules love to be paired. They work well when they're paired. Now, this molecule is no longer paired, and this makes it very unstable and aggressive. And because it wants to be whole again, it starts a chain reaction of damage, and it steals an electron from your healthy cells, and then those cells steal electrons from their neighbors, and there's that chain reaction of wear and tear on your tissues that can even damage your DNA. Our primary protection from those free radicals comes from specific plant compounds called carotenoids and polyphenols. These are found in the actual colors of the produce that we eat. That's why we always say eat the rainbow. Antioxidants are amazing because they have a plethora of extra electrons to lend. They can give an electron to a free radical and stop that chain reaction immediately. The most wonderful part is that the antioxidant does not become unstable after giving its electron away. It is designed by nature to be a giver that protects your cells from damage. When I use the term Intellitrition, meaning, of course, intelligent nutrition, I am describing a strategy of biological cooperation between our daily choices and our natural design. It is the practice of moving away from the loud noise of the diet industry, and we get lots of that with so much promotion and so many commercials. So once we move away from that, we move toward the quiet, powerful logic of nature. Intelligent nutrition means recognizing that your body is a sophisticated system. It requires complex information from plants rather than just simple calories for fuel. It is about choosing foods that offer the most protection, for your DNA and the most support for your mental clarity as the years go by. This approach is an important part of the foundations I discuss in my book, New Life from Near Death: How to Prepare Your Life and Health for the Unexpected. By flooding our bodies with the right information, we are doing more than simply eating and filling up that hunger space. We are actively preparing our health and our defenses for whatever the unexpected might bring. Our soil has been depleted of important minerals over many years of intensive farming. There is a verifiable NIH PubMed study from 2004 by Donald Davis that looked at nutritional data for 43 different garden crops. This study found that the levels of protein, calcium, and important vitamins have dropped significantly since the middle of the last century. This means that we actually need to eat much more produce today to get the amount of protection that our bodies truly need. And there are other reasons why the nutritional content just isn't as it used to be. One of them is so simple, and that is because the food isn't ripened on the vine. It's picked while it's hard and green, so it can be transported without spoilage, which we can't really blame them for. They know we're not going to buy spoiled produce. However, much of the nutrition, between 50 to 80% of the nutrition, comes into the produce after it's completely matured and begins to ripen on the vine. So there is another reason why we lose a lot of the nutrition. So we need to really flood our bodies with extra nutrition. And that's why I use Juice Plus, the superfood capsules, and the superfood powder, actually, as my nutritional insurance to bridge that gap. And it's not a fractionated vitamin. In fact, it's not a vitamin at all. It's a whole food concentrate. And it's a simple way and an easy way to provide the micronutrients of 30 different plants. And it's a way that I use to flood my body with the thousands of extra electrons that we talked about that are needed to stop those chain reactions and protect our DNA and reduce inflammation. And I shared a video about that DNA. I think it's amazing. And it's a 1-minute video. I'm going to share it here again. And also there's one about inflammation and how that's reduced just by having this kind of protection.
Today I share the results of a new scientific study conducted on Juice Plus capsules at the universities of Parma, Italy, and Graz, Austria, published in the journal Nutrients. It's about the polyphenols in Juice Plus. Polyphenols are another important type of phytonutrient known to have a beneficial effect on both cardiovascular health and oxidative stress. This one-day trial found that 20 different health-promoting polyphenols from Juice Plus capsules were absorbed into the bloodstream of test subjects in adequate amounts to target the tissues and organs that need them. Researchers tested 20 healthy subjects, both women and men, average age 33. For 2 weeks before the test, the participants avoided all supplements, dietetic products, drugs, and medications. For 48 hours before the test, they consumed a polyphenol-poor diet based on a list of permitted and forbidden foods to ensure that the polyphenols found in the blood on the day of the test were the result of taking Juice Plus. On the day of the test, after the subjects had fasted overnight, researchers took a baseline blood sampling. Then, each participant took 3 Juice Plus capsules, 1 fruit, 1 vegetable, 1 berry, along with 250 milliliters of water. That's all the Juice Plus they took for this test, 3 capsules one time. Researchers then collected 4 additional blood samples over time, 1 hour, 2 hours, 5 hours and 10 hours after capsule intake. What did they find in the blood samples? Polyphenols. Some polyphenols appeared in the bloodstream only 1 to 2 hours after taking the capsules, suggesting they were absorbed in the upper gastrointestinal tract. Other polyphenols appeared in the blood later, between 5 and 10 hours after taking the capsules, suggesting they were absorbed in the lower gastrointestinal tract. But here is what's even more interesting. There were polyphenols in the blood that were not even present in the Juice Plus products. Where did they come from? The researchers postulate that the polyphenols from Juice Plus were converted by the body itself into other phenolic compounds in the colon's microbiome as well as in the liver. In other words, phytonutrients from Juice Plus encouraged our bodies to produce other beneficial micronutrients. The data also suggests that polyphenols from Juice Plus help nourish the gut microbiome, the billions of microorganisms that live in our guts and are vital to our health and well-being. Amazing, isn't it? We keep learning more and more about why consuming plenty of phytonutrients from fruits and vegetables every day is so essential to good health, and how some of those benefits can occur almost immediately.
When I speak about the term intelligent nutrition, I am describing a strategy of biological cooperation between our daily choices and our natural design. It is the practice of moving away from the loud noise of the diet industry, and we know there's a lot of that going on today, and moving toward the quiet, powerful logic of nature. Intelligent nutrition means recognizing that your body is a sophisticated system. It has its own intelligence. It requires complex information from plants rather than just simple calories for fuel. It is about choosing foods that offer the most protection for your DNA and the most support for your mental clarity as the years go by. This approach is an important part of the foundations that I discuss in my book, New Life from Near Death: How to Prepare Your Life and Health for the Unexpected. Because it empowers you to be the smart architect of your own well-being. By flooding our bodies with the right information, we are doing more than simply eating. Now, how would I use that term, flooding our bodies with information? And that's because fruits and vegetables do have information that our cells pick up. So we are actively preparing our health and our defenses for whatever the unexpected might bring. I'd love for you to continue to be with me and join me as I embrace this season of life with joy, with encouragement, and with the knowledge that we are not helpless victims. Our health is in our hands. And I will see you at the next one. Peace.